What up? So I don't know if I talked about this yet or not before, but so check this story out, dude. So I when you're a kid, you got friends and shit or whatever you fucking however all that shit goes. Well, me and my brother had these friends called Malik and Trey. They were brothers and they were black and they were just our homies and shit. And I think Malik was Robbie's friend and they were like hella cool. Malik was like this cool ass black dude, like hella cool kid. And him and Robbie became friends and shit because Robbie was hella cool too. And I was like the older brother, and like Malik had an older brother, so I ended up I'd go over there. I'm a young kid, elementary school, and I'd hang out with Trey and shit, because that was Malik's older brother. But so, anyways, we grew up with these dudes like our whole life, like for the most part, kind of. And then like we wouldn't see them forever, like maybe a few years or something. And then like my mom's like, it's like our birthday party or something type shit. She's like, oh, Malik and Trey are coming over. So it was kind of one of those normal things where we're like, oh, okay, cool. Like we've already known him for so long. So it wasn't a big deal. But at this time, I think I'm in eighth grade, and I'm hella street punk. Like I'm like hella street punk as a kid, and then like fucking kind of asshole with it too, with like people wearing Hot Topic t-shirts, just a fucking. But being a kid and dumb, right? But anyway, so he came over. Trey was never too gangster or nothing. He's kind of they're kind of white. Like Malik grew up to like be on a football team and had like hella white girls all the time. Like he did like that black dude that parties with like white girls and shit. That was him. And then Trey was also like that actually. His friend he had like white friends and shit. So they weren't too gangster with it, but they were black. And so Trey comes over, and for some reason, me and Trey would always just like argue and shit, kind of like the kids, like whatever, fuck you, whatever type of shit. But we were friends and shit because we were kids. We didn't know no better. So fucking he comes over. Him and his brother come over, and I'm hella street punk, and he brings over some CDs. He brings over Census Fail. They were Burn CDs. Actually, he brings over Census Fail. It was a Burn CD. It was from the Depths of Dreams album, which was probably their first one, their first like main one probably. And these guys were like kids during this time. Like they didn't make probably $0 off that shit, but it was the shit. And he brought over the Save the Day CD. I don't remember which CD it was. But he left them at my house, and the whole time he was like, man, put this in. And like, I think he put it in a little bit, and I was like, nah, man, this ain't punk, and shit like that, just being a kid and stupid. But I ended up having the CDs at my house. So in ninth grade, I'm still street punk, right? But I find out about the emo shit, you know what I'm saying? And I hella like it, too. And I fucking... I remember having those CDs in my room and shit, and I actually put it in to listen to it because I'm like, Census Fail, let me put it in. And I put it in, and I actually like wanted to listen to it to see if I liked it, and I hella liked it. And then I put in the Save the Day CD, and I hella liked that shit too. Like actually liked it, so. And then I see Trey, I think in 10th grade. I'm in 10th grade. I think I go to like In-N-Out or something. And I'm at this point, I'm like, I look like this, maybe not as long beard. I got long hair. My style's like, when you go from like street punk to patches everywhere, and you start fading out because you get into hardcore and all this other stuff, you start learning hardcore is punk rock. You kind of stop with the patches everywhere, but you still keep your style. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be whatever style you got, but it's not going to be as crazy because it's the same shit kind of. So by the time I see Trey at this point, I'm like, I'm definitely not street punk no more, but I'm way more like into hardcore and shit, but I still love the emo shit. I still love the punk shit too, but I'm in 10th grade doing some other shit in a hardcore band or metalcore bands and shit. And I see Trey, and I see him at In-N-Out, and he looks cool. He's like this skinny, tall black dude. He's got that style. You just know when you listen, you look, especially at that time when you see them, they're into that shit. Like Census Fail or all those bands and shit. It's real easy to tell. And I remember I saw him, and I'm like, Trey, what up? And he's like, he didn't really say too much. He was kind of like smiling and shit. Like he's like, and I remember I was like, dude, fucking Census Fail's the shit, dude. I was like, Saves the Day's the shit too, man. I was like, fucking, trying to tell him, like, because I remember me trying to tell him, like, that I didn't want to hear it. But I remember he left the CDs at my house, and then at that point, I'm like hella into this shit. And I just remember telling him, like, man, I'm hella into this shit, dude. Vences Fails the shit. Saves the Day's the shit, dude. And he just kind of looked at me and smiled. He's like, and he probably could tell too, because the way I dress and shit, it's kind of easy to tell sometimes. But yeah, and it wasn't too much talking. It was kind of him smiling at me and shit, like kind of one of these things. Like maybe he was happy. I don't know, but I haven't talked to him after that. But yeah, so pretty much a fucking black dude put me on game to some of my favorite bands now. So don't ever get it twisted. The shit that I say, dude. Okay. All right. So bless up.